Hi everyone. Right, okay, this is my art journal prompts, prompt 21, lace. I love this. It's turned out as a double page spread. That wasn't intentional, but this has been a bit problematic. I had an idea in my head, and that's probably where it went wrong. When you sort of plan something, it all goes pear-shaped, or at least it does with me. I started off by making this. It's an altered clothes tag. I made some of these for a swap that I did for the Enchanted Imaginarium, which is a Facebook group that I'm a member of. And I loved doing them. It was the first time I'd ever tried them when I did the swap, although this project was my idea, one that I put forward. But they're great fun. I've been collecting clothing tags for quite a while. I've got a whole basket of them. This particular one here is a clothing tag from Fat Face, and it's quite thick chipboard, this one. And I wanted this to be the focal image of my page. And at first I thought that the prompt was leather and lace because I hadn't seen Deb Packwood's video. I'm so far behind on videos and prompts and mixed media morsels, you name it. I'm quite a way behind. But I'd seen Maggie Lockley's page that she had posted on Facebook, and hers was leather and lace, and so I presumed that that was what the prompt was. So I thought, great, perfect, because I'd been making these leather embellishments anyway, and I'd also used leather and lace together in one of the altered clothing tags that I did for the swap. So anyway, let me talk through how I did the tag first. I coated the tag in gesso before I did anything with it. And then when that was dry, I smushed some distress paints around on a piece of parchment paper. I chose turquoise pink and I think it was the chipped sapphire. And then I added a lighter purple colour, sort of like a mauve colour as well. And I kept smushing around, drying, adding more paint, smushing until I got the colourway that I was happy with. Then when that was dry, I did some stamping. I used my Tim Holtz texture tread, and I used the Royal Purple Stays On ink. So I just went stampity stamp and did that. Then I added the lace. This lace is on a reel. I had this for quite a good price. It was from the Florists Wholesalers, which is in Malvern, not far from where I live. I think it was £4 for the whole reel, and there's quite a lot on it. Does it say how much? 5 meters. So I glued that round with my glue gun. Then I cut out my leather heart. If any of you have seen my leather embellishment video where I show the leather heart and the paper flowers from my marbled papers, I showed how I did it. And basically I just folded a piece of leather in half and then freehand cut a heart shape. So that was that, and then I doodled around the edge of the heart with white Posca paint pen just to bring it to life. Then I glued on one of my paper flower embellishments. Now the papers are made with spray inks on shaving foam. I've got a video. If you go and have a look at my previous videos, you'll see how I did that. And I've just put a brad through it. I used the Tim Holtz flower garland die to cut out the flower shapes. And then I've just put a small silver brad to hold all the elements together, and then glued that onto the heart. And then I dug out some buttons, coordinating buttons from my stash. I've got a small box here of really tiny buttons that I use. I've got some polka dot ones, mother of pearl, you know, various different shapes, some flowers, some hearts, etc. And so I chose a few that complemented this. Used some thread so that they looked as if they were sewn on, but I actually glued these on with my hot glue gun. And then I've added a piece of lace trim just to finish it off. So that's that. And then my flowers I cut from lace as well, and let me show you how I did those. I cut a piece of lace off like this, and then I just cut out a petal shape. And I did, I think it was 10 petals on the one flower. I think there's 8 on here. And then I inked around the edges, and I did that with some alcohol markers. And the way that I did it, I used the chisel tip, and I just simply went around the edge like that, just to add some colour. And I did it in a mixture of this one, which is the Letraset, the Pro Marker Maroon, and then I've got some of my cheaper alcohol markers. These are from the Works. These work just as well, they're fine, and that was light violet. And then I cut out the leaves in the same way, and then just used moss. I inked around the edges of the leaves in a slightly different way, because I used the flat end just so that I got more of the ink on the edges, and I just did it flat to my page. So that's how I did that. And then I grabbed some green ribbon, tealy green ribbon, and just glued everything on. Oh, by the way, I cut out my petal shapes, and then I cut out a circle of the leather from the same scrap, and then I put some glue on the back of the leather, and then just glued all the petals down using my heat gun. So that's how I did those. And then glued the ribbon onto the back, and then added the leaves, and that was that. Then I've added some pink ribbon around the outside, and then the background for this, I used my doily, my huge doily that I had from the charity shop, and I sprayed through it with Dylusions sprays in Funky Fuchsia, or was it Picked Raspberry? It was one of the pink ones anyway, teal, and I think that was it. It was just the pink and the teal. But because it was on white cardstock, when I added the flowers, it just didn't look right. It just didn't stand out enough. So I have got some of the Silks acrylic glazes, and I grabbed this one in Pretty Peridot, and I watered it down to make a wash, and I just went over all the stenciled background with the wash, and this is just beautiful. I don't know whether you can pick this up, but it's so sparkly. It just looks absolutely lovely. And then the flowers just came to light on that background. So the pattern in the background is just from spraying through the doily, and then me going over the outside. The green is from the wash from the Silks acrylic glazes. The centre of the flowers have had polka dot treatment as well, with my white Posca paint pen. So that's that. And then, because I wanted to use my altered cloth tag, so I was going to use the tag and a flower, and it just didn't look right at all. It's just didn't work. So because I'd got one flower already made, and then I ended up cutting out more petals and making a second one. So I decided to do a double page spread so that I could have the tag on the other side. The background for this was done with Distress paints and Dylusions spray inks. I used Distress paints in teal, the tealy turquoise colour, pink and lime green. And again, sort of dabbed some onto parchment paper, sprayed it with water and smushed it around. But it just wasn't quite right, so I added some Dylusion sprays in the same colours that I'd used over here. So it was the teal and the deep pink, the cerise pink. And then that was too bright, so I toned it down with some Picket Fence Distress paint, which is sort of like an off-white. And I dabbed that all over, sprayed it with water, smushed it around with my finger until I was happy with the colour of it. And then I did exactly the same thing as I'd done with the clothing tag, and I got the texture tread, and I used royal purple, a green and a pink, and just sort of randomly stamped in the 3 colours just to add some more texture to the background. I've inked around the edges of the clothing tag with royal purple stays on ink just to finish it off. And then I shall just attach this with a removable glue dot, just so that, because there's lovely paint on the back of this as well, so I don't want it down there permanently, so I should just use a removable glue dot for that. And then if ever I want to do something else with that page at a later date, I can do. But that's how I achieved that spread, and I love it. I'm really pleased with it. It sort of, you know, wasn't what I had in mind at all. But I did record myself doing it, but I even had problems with the video as well. Now that Ben has told me to upload in 720 HD, which I thought I was already doing, but obviously I wasn't. It's using up a lot more memory, and so the camera clicked off partway through this, and I hadn't realised, so I lost a load of footage. And to be honest, it would have been so choppy anyway, and probably gone on forever. That's not such a bad thing. So there it is. Oh, and the other thing that I did was I went with a makeup sponge around the edges with the royal purple, just to sort of give a bit of a border. And that's that. So so there's Art Journal Prompts number 21. Number 22 I think is out now. I've got no idea what that is, and I think I've still got number 20 to do as well. So I'm going to try and catch up on that next week. I'm behind on mixed medium morsels, which I want to do at some stage as well. But hope you like that. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And I'll see you all again soon. Have a brilliant weekend, everyone. Take care for now.